Good afternoon, I'm Rob Boskamp, and you're listening to South Texas Midday. Happy Friday, it's August 29th. The Texas General Land Office is investing $135 million in grants for coastal bend cities and counties. The city of Corpus Christi was awarded $15.1 million to support upgrades to its wastewater treatment infrastructure. Nueces County received $31.2 million. The funding was presented yesterday during a ceremony following the State of Energy Luncheon. The $15 million grant comes from the GLO's Community Development Block Grants Regional Mitigation Program.
All really centered around wastewater treatment, flood mitigation. The General Land Office actually has a ton of projects, hundreds of millions of dollars already underway, but we're just going to keep bringing resources to this area because we know how important the coastal bend is.
That was Texas GLO Commissioner Don Buckingham speaking with KIII News. The city of Corpus Christi's funding is designated for the purpose of flood mitigation measures at the Greenwood Wastewater Treatment Plant and the installation of emergency generators at both the Greenwood and Oso facilities. Attorneys for former Beeville Police Chief Kevin Behr say his recent firing was unjust in that city officials ignored his own complaints of sexual harassment. That is according to a grievance filed this week. The filing contends Behr was wrongfully terminated earlier this month after being accused of making sexual remarks to another officer. His attorneys argue the city never provided him with a signed copy of the complaint, failed to properly investigate the claims, and violated both Texas labor law and government code. Earlier this week, firefighter Ryan Trevino was named interim police chief during a unanimous city council vote. A proposed interlocal agreement between the city of Starbase and Cameron County is being negotiated to create 8 new deputy positions to be assigned specifically to Starbase. Daniel Lopez with Cameron County Commissioner's Court told Valley Central News the positions would be new hires. Candidates would be sourced through traditional county hiring channels. The interlocal agreement would last for 5 years unless terminated early. Starbase has proposed to fully reimburse Cameron County for salaries, fringe benefits, uniforms and equipment, and vehicles for the 8 deputies. While funding would come from Starbase, deputies would be under the direct command of the Cameron County Sheriff. Starbase personnel would have no authority to direct or influence law enforcement actions. A start date is not yet determined, but the hiring process will begin once the start date is finalized and approved. The new Harbor Bridge is now open, but construction crews continue on a key piece of the project. Workers this week focused on completing the northbound US 181 exit to North Beach. Officials urge commuters to stay alert for delays and be prepared to take alternate routes if needed. Traffic may at times be reduced to a single lane. Temporary closures are also possible while the exit construction continues. Well, it is Labor Day weekend, and boaters at Lake Corpus Christi have a new ramp built specifically to handle low water levels. Just 45 feet from the original one, the new boat ramp was built to adjust with the changing shoreline, even with recent dry conditions. Lake Corpus Christi Superintendent Kelly Mikowski told KIII News the new ramp is a game changer.
The beautiful thing about this is that it's mobile. We can continue to redeploy this device as lake levels change. If the lake comes up, we can move it. If the lake goes down, we can move it. Our goal is to provide boater access.
Mikowski said low water levels have kept visitors away this summer, but the new ramp could turn things around. She said a big crowd is expected this weekend. Visitors are advised to grab permits early and be patient in using the new ramp. And Labor Day is not just a holiday. On Monday, more than 830 new Texas laws take effect. That includes ones regarding THC vapes, Chinese-made e-cigarettes, and similar products. Camila Gonzalez with the Denton Record Chronicle explains what Senate Bill 2024 will do.
Governor Greg Abbott signed Senate Bill 2024 into law in June. The law prohibits the sale and advertisement of e-cigarettes or vapes that contain certain substances, like cannabinoids, alcohol, or mushrooms. The bill also prohibits the sale of any e-cigarettes that feature cartoon-like characters. E-cigarettes that resemble food or drink products, school supplies, or cosmetics will also be illegal to sell. In Denton, many smoke shops are offering discounts on certain vape products to clear them from the shelves before the law goes into effect. I'm Camila Gonzalez in Denton.
Another Texas law set to take effect this Monday will increase the penalty for assaulting a utility worker, making it equal to that of assaulting a first responder. Houston Public Media's Kyle McClinigan has more.
Under the new law, assaulting a utility worker will be a third-degree felony, and harassing a utility worker will increase to a Class A misdemeanor. The new penalties only apply if the assault or harassment occurs while the worker is on the clock. Houston State Senator Carol Alvarado authored the bipartisan bill. Speaking on the Senate floor earlier this year, she said it was written in response to utility workers in the Houston area facing threats of violence as they work to restore power following Hurricane Beryl.
Despite these risks, utility workers remain remain on the front lines ensuring access to electricity, gas, and telecommunications. These changes ensure that utility workers receive the same level of protection as other emergency personnel during times of crisis.
The new law will cover utility workers in the electricity, gas, telecommunication, and pipeline industries. I'm Kyle McClinigan in Houston.
Victoria city leaders gathered last night to discuss the future of the city during Building Victoria's Future. Topics included population growth, job creation, affordable housing, and the city's long-term economic blueprint. Another major focus was the transition of the University of Houston Victoria to Texas A&M Victoria next week. After the presentations, many residents shared ideas for new restaurants, businesses, and other development they would like to see in Victoria. The Texas A&M University System Board of Regents voted yesterday to name Dr. James K. Nelson Jr. as interim president of the new Texas A&M University Victoria. Nelson will start Monday and serve in the role until the board selects a president. A national search is ongoing, and they expect to name a finalist this fall. Dr. Nelson currently serves as Associate Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs for the Texas A&M system, where he has provided on-site leadership for the transition of University of Houston Victoria into the A&M system. Meanwhile, Corpus Christi ISD got its 18th annual Operation Keys initiative underway to reconnect with students who haven't returned to school this year. The Keep Every Youth in School program targets about 1,000 students who are enrolled in the district but haven't attended classes so far this school year. CCISD Director for Student Services Ron Knipes said the group works to contact families of those students to understand why their children haven't enrolled and to offer any support. CCISD staff and volunteers gathered yesterday at the district's administration building on Leopard Street for Operation Keys Phone Bank. On September 6th, staff and volunteers will participate in the Keys Walk effort, where teams will go into neighborhoods knocking on doors to track down families they were unable to reach by phone. Construction began on a new wing at Ben Bolt Palito Blanco Elementary School with the help of an $8 million bond approved by local voters. The district held a groundbreaking ceremony yesterday to mark the start of construction on 8 new elementary classrooms. The project will also include renovations to existing buildings in the district. Superintendent Victoria Jocelyn told KRAS 6 News the additional space was necessary for the district's growth and future.
We need additional classrooms here because of our student enrollment and also because some of our classrooms in the old wing are a little bit dated.
The elementary campus was originally built in the 1940s, and some classrooms in the older wing are outdated. The district currently serves more than 400 students. Construction on the new wing is expected to be completed by early 2026. Federal funding has been secured to renovate a nearly century-old suspension bridge that connects the city of Roma with Ciudad Miguel Alemán across the border.
The bridge means everything to us because it's not only just a form of a means of transportation, but it symbolizes growth and prosperity, a chance for a better life on both sides of the border.
That was Roma Mayor Jaime Escobar Jr. speaking with KRGV. During a ceremony this week, Congressman Henry Cuellar joined Roma city officials to announce the release of $5 million in federal funding for restoration efforts. The suspension bridge has been closed for decades. City leaders expect environmental studies and Phase 1 construction to begin this year. The Corpus Christi 7-day film project lands this Sunday with a day of premieres, adrenaline, and local bragging rights on the line. In the span of a week, 25 teams wrote, shot, and edited original short films using essential elements. Screening begins at 1 p.m. Sunday at Alamo Draft House with the awards ceremony at 7:30 p.m. at House of Rock. This year, films had to include a source of light, the line of dialogue, I am ready, and a character named Nick or Nikki that is an unreliable person, as well as a photo of the newly opened Harbor Bridge. In sports, the Texas A&M Corpus Christi soccer team was taken down in its second road match of the season last night, failing to fully close an early deficit and dropping to Sam Houston State 3-2. The loss snapped a 3-game point streak for the Islanders, who had not suffered a loss since their season opener on August 14th. And it was not the only heartbreaker. The Corpus Christi Hooks fell to the Tulsa Drillers 9-7 thanks to a home run in the 7th inning. Wes Clark homered twice as part of a 3-hit, 4-RBI performance. He went deep in the first for a 1-0 Corpus Christi lead. In the fourth, he cracked a low liner that narrowly cleared the 4-foot fence in right center for a 3-run blast. The University of Texas Rio Grande Valley is making final preparations for tomorrow's inaugural football game. Over 20,000 people are expected to cross the stadium and tailgating areas, with over 3,000 free student tickets already claimed. Free shuttle services will be available to everyone needing a ride to the stadium. Brownsville riders must confirm attendance by 8 p.m. Fridays before each home game. More information can be found online at goutrgv.com. And a sea turtle originally found stranded in Boston has been returned to Gulf waters. Patient number 529 arrived at Texas State Aquarium's Wildlife Rescue Center late last year, suffering from severe pneumonia. The animal required aggressive, round-the-clock care as veterinarians administered multiple antibiotics and antifungal agents and provided nebulization therapy to support breathing. While initial treatments did not fully resolve the infection, the veterinary team performed an airway wash, which allowed them to identify infectious organisms in the lungs and tailor medication to target those pathogens more effectively. Following the targeted treatment plan, the turtle made a full recovery, and staff reports that patient number 529 is now healthy and ready to return to the ocean. More information about the Wildlife Rescue Center can be found at texasstateaquarium.org. And that is the latest news and information on South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. Have a wonderful Labor Day weekend. Your community arts calendar and more is on the way.